Hi everybody and welcome to Corvette Nation presented by Mid-America Motorworks. I'm Bill Stevens, this is Maria Prekagis. Corvette Nation, a series that's going to take you throughout the entire Corvette experience. We're going to be talking about the history of the car, the technical features, and going to give you an up-close look at that brand new C-7 generation Corvette Stingray that is the talk of the town and every town in the world. What else?
We're also going to dive behind the Corvette lifestyle, meet the people behind these cars, travel to some of the biggest Corvette events around the country, and really see why, after all these years, it's still the it car.
So if you're ready, let's roll.
First up, let's go back to the beginning. 1953, the year in which the Corvette first saw light. It had been a surprising and instant hit at the GM Motorama event in New York at the Waldorf Hotel. Barely 6 months later, the 53 Corvette was born in Flint, Michigan. The Corvette had come to life thanks to the efforts of people like General Motors design chief Harley Earl and engineering president Ed Cole. The Vette was primitive at first, to be sure. It was powered by a comparatively tame 6-cylinder engine with 3 side-draft carburetors, and horsepower peaked at a timid 150. The hand-assembled, fiberglass-bodied Corvettes numbered only 300 that first year, in your choice of colors, as long as you liked white. Early sales were not impressive, and at the end of the 54 model year, Corvette's future had question marks. But once Zora Arkus Duntov got his hands on the unsophisticated Vette, good things began to happen in a hurry, on the street and on the racetrack. In 1955, Corvette got its first V8, and its performance began to generate buyer enthusiasm. The Corvette was here to stay. The generations marched ahead from C1 through the last C6, produced in early 2013. And all along the way, big improvements came with each successive generation in styling, handling, creature comforts, and, oh yeah, horsepower. Over the past 60 years, the Corvette has morphed from that meekly powered crude mobile into the epitome of American sports car excellence, the C7, the 2014 Corvette Stingray. Later on, we'll take you back to the C7's official Detroit unveiling in January, and you get a chance to hear from the Corvette production and engineering team. So stay with us. You're watching Corvette Nation.
Welcome back to Corvette Nation, and we got our butts planted in this 50th anniversary 2003 Corvette convertible. This is a great piece, and it's all about style and performance, as you probably know. But Maria, you had a little speed under your belt recently. Tell us about that experience.
I did. I was lucky enough to have a little ride with the Ron Fellows Performance School of Driving. They stopped by Reno, Nevada. And I got in a convertible similar to this. It was a 2013, but it was a convertible because I thought it won't go as fast. Boy, was I wrong.
Let's roll toward Reno, shall we?
We shall.
Rocky, my professional driver, in the convertible. The hair's going back. Let's see what this bad boy can do.
All right, let's hit it.
Woo! Oh, I don't know how to open it.
All right, we're ready. Here we go. Morning, what you doing? Oh, my God. What do you think we can do with the convertible?
about 7 or 8 of these events yearly. We tie it in with Barrett-Jackson, SEMA, Woodward Dream Cruise, and other events. Really trying to get to the heart of the performance culture.
And you work for Chevy. Why do you love these cars so much?
I love speed. Speed is good.
Woo! Rocky, high five.
Awesome.
And another. That was awesome. Thanks to Chevy and Ride and Drive, and of course Hot August Nights. I don't know if I can get out of the car, my legs are shaking.
How much fun is that for you to go out and drive like this?
Oh my gosh, it's a dream. It's a fantasy, it's a dream. I love it.
And what's the best response you've gotten from people today?
Pretty much everybody says I have the best job here, so I have to agree with them.
Do you have a favorite car?
Well, Corvette, of course.
Of course.
I own a Corvette. I love Corvette, yeah.
Well, and I'm hoping you don't drive your Corvette around the streets like you do here.
Not on the streets, officer.
Love it. Well, thank you. It was a complete thrill. My great driver, Rocky. Woo, we made it 4 laps.
Right on.
We say the Corvette is a dream car for people. And so what we want to do is expand that dream.
It's more than just a car. It's more than just a sports car. It is an emotion, it is a passion, it is a vehicle that is larger than life.
It's just an awesome car. Interior and exterior, it's fast, it's comfortable, it's easy to drive.
One of the things we really wanted to do with the Corvette is upgrade every aspect of the car in terms of the visual displays in the car, the use of materials, the kind of structure, the technology and the tires and suspension and everything. We looked everywhere in the car to see what was the latest and greatest, most advanced technology we could use.
Things like active handling, stability control, and performance traction management. Things like that can actually make a very experienced driver do even better on the track, actually improve their lap times. So the technology is there for you to use or there to turn off if you don't want to.
People, when they go for their first drive in the new Corvette, are going to notice everything's different. The body structure is almost 60% stiffer than the car we sell today. That makes the car feel really planted to the road, extremely solid, extremely secure.
We're actually able to take 99 pounds out of the body structure, 45 kilograms.
We've used state-of-the-art aluminum construction in the entire frame and much of the chassis.
We always use the right material. We'll invent a material if we have to. It's always about lightweight material.
The breakthrough on this car is really around the engine.
For the first time ever, we've incorporated direct injection, cylinder deactivation, variable valve timing, and all those 3 things do a lot independently to improve power, torque, and efficiency. But together they work synergistically.
The fundamental greatness of the small block V8, its compact size, high output, very low mass, is a huge enabler for the sports car.
450 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque, which are our targets, and I think you'll see when the final numbers are in for the car's fuel economy, it will be unparalleled in the segments that it competes in.
Our active rev matching actually is one of the most transforming changes we made in the driving experience. As soon as you start to move the shifter towards another gear, the vehicle recognizes that and quickly blips the throttle to get to the engine at speed it needs to be at. If you change your mind and move to another gear, it senses that immediately and will quickly move the engine to that speed.
So you have a very seamless and transparent downshift. It's a very unique feature, it's fun to drive, and it'll make even the novice drive like a pro.
A new Corvette has to look like a Corvette. That's the most important key, but within that proportional envelope, we really wanted to make some game-changing moves on the car.
The new design, in some ways, is a far more international design. It's in many ways a very exotic design, true to Corvette roots, but it's like it is grown up in many ways, in a very positive way.
The stance is now wider, the roof is lower, but without taking any interior space away. The wheelbase is a little bit longer. We've just kind of taken what is Corvette and made it longer, lower, wider.
With the taut, stretched muscles that it has, and its very international flair that it has, and at the core, it is obviously Corvette. From end to end, you know what it is when you see it. From exterior design, interior design, quality, the performance of the vehicle, the handling of the vehicle, the braking of the vehicle, the aerodynamics, the sum of all this is spectacular. I love it. Wow, this car is cool.
One of the real treats this year in the series is that we're going to have a chance to visit with this gentleman here, Michael Brown. He's a documentarian, and if you've seen The Quest, he's the guy who did it. But his other gig is traveling all over the world, checking out some of the most fabulous Corvette collections there are on the face of the planet. And that's a tough job, I'll bet.
It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it, right, Bill? Yeah, what's more fun than traveling around the nation and internationally, seeing some incredible Corvette collections? And we're going to be sharing some collections with you on Corvette Nation you will not believe.
I'll be watching.
The horses corralled in this enormous garage are resting peacefully under the hoods of more than 24 classic Corvettes, spanning the first, second, and third generations with a sampling of the fifth and sixth. And don't adjust your video screen. If they appear to all be black, they are.
When I first decided I was going to do the collection, I had a couple of black cars, and I thought, well, I'll just start there. And then as I researched more, I found that the black cars are much harder to find. And of course, being black, you can't hide anything, so you really have to have a nice car.
If nice cars is the criteria, he's home free. By model year, the Corvettes start with a like-new 54 and cover every succeeding year through 1968, with both coupes and convertibles in each of several of those years. A more than impressive selection of power includes fuelies, big blocks, and rarities. An example of that is this 66 tanker coupe, showing the mandatory heater and radio delete option required by GM when the 36-gallon fuel tank car was ordered new. And though it would be nearly impossible to do so, don't overlook this little 63 split-window coupe dragster. The four-wheeled rocket was custom built by Bill and his associates and sports a unique aluminum 454 custom ramjet fuel injection system, a Richmond 6-speed, Mickey Thompson tires, and a sound that's downright intimidating.
That goes way back when I was a child. I was always loved cars and prided myself in knowing what kind of car. When my dad would say, well, what kind of car is that? When I was 5 and 6 and 7 years old, and I knew all of them. But the Corvettes and Chevrolets were always my favorite.
Okay, Bill, you have this magnificent collection, all lined up in chronological order. But it sort of begs the question: why don't you have what a lot of people consider to be the Holy Grail, the 1953, the first Corvette?
Well, I mean, that's easy to answer because it didn't make any black ones in '53.
Makes sense to me.
And it also makes perfect sense that he's put a lot of thought into his Corvette acquisitions over the years.
It's been a tremendous investment for me. And some of these cars, when I bought them many years ago, I thought, boy, I'm paying way too much money for this car. But I like it. This one's very hard to come by, so I'm going to buy it. Well, of course, now that's proven to be a good move. They're just special and getting rarer by the day, just harder to come by.
One vet that has eluded him so far is a 65 fuel-injected coupe. So if you know of one out there that might be for sale, Bill's interested. But don't forget, it has to be black. And since this garage is pretty full, is there yet another garage on the horizon?
There's bound to be other cars. Now, I'm kidding myself. When I built this building here, I thought, oh, I'll never fill this one up. Well, you know how that goes. No such thing as too much garage.
Our thanks to Bill Mullis and his staff for allowing us to visit his incredible, unique collection of black Corvettes.
One thing that Corvette enthusiasts all share in common is that they're all looking for ways to improve the performance or appearance of their Corvettes. And if they attend any number of the huge Corvette events that take place across the country, chances are they're going to wind up seeing Mid-America Motorworks. I'm here with Michael Yeager Jr., the Director of Sales for Mid-America Motorworks. And what can someone expect to have done to their Corvette at one of these events?
Well, Bill, we have a lot of customers who show up wanting new exhaust systems, brakes, intakes, and a lot of them want to have those things done by professionals who do it in and out every single day. So we have customers all across the United States show up with their car. We've got great people here to put on exhaust. 30 minutes, they can walk away, they have a new sound, it's a new appearance, it's like coming home with a new toy.
I see Lance, one of your technicians, putting an exhaust system on that new Grand Sport. It must be an enormous undertaking getting all of the parts here to work on all these different Corvettes.
It's a tremendous undertaking. It's about a week before we show up to the event. We've got a staff back home packing a semi full of parts. We get here about 4 nights before the event starts. We've got an entire semi that we unload. We've got lifts. We've got pretty much anything and everything that's a mobile Corvette shop to get your car going.
Now, if somebody wanted to have something done and maybe plan ahead rather than have it done when they arrive, there's a way for them to do that too, right?
Absolutely. We've got customers at home surfing the internet, looking through our catalog. They'll call our call center and they'll say, hey, you know what, we need a brand new exhaust and an intake. We say, absolutely. We'll have it here waiting for you. And even better yet, we can schedule it. So if we know they're going to be here at 2:30 on a Saturday, we'll have them ready for 2:30 on a Saturday. We'll have a brand new exhaust put on.
Well, you got a great operation here, Michael. I am certainly impressed. And those of you watching, next time you go to a major Corvette show anywhere in the country, look for Mid-America Motorworks. What better way to bring you right into the heart of the Corvette community than a visit to the granddaddy of them all when it comes to Corvette events, Bloomington Gold. This is the 40th annual edition of Bloomington Gold here at the University of Illinois campus in Champaign, Illinois. And as you can see, already thousands of people here, 5,000 Corvettes here on the property. So without wasting any more time, let's get started.
I take a lot of pride in the event. I've loved Bloomington Gold for a lot of years. I've attended for over 25 years. I used to stand back and just be kind of in awe of the cars that were being judged, and eventually had cars of my own judged, became a judge, became in charge of judges, and then look what happens. Next thing you know, I own the thing. But I have Bloomington Gold in my blood, in my veins. I love it, and I'll work very hard to make it successful. Well, Bloomington Gold started out in 1973 as a car corral and swap meet, like a lot of other car events that you would go to at the time. They added segments of different activities throughout the years, but most notably they added the judging aspect of our show. So that differentiated Bloomington Gold from all other Corvette judging events, and actually probably most all judging events in total.
The judging process is very involved. Can you take us through step by step?
We look at each individual car as no better, no worse than it left the factory in 1967 for the class that I run, which means that we look at the body, we look at the paint, we look at the fiberglass against the originality of what the car was. We look at the chassis, make sure that it's resembles or close to like the shock absorbers, everything that's underneath the chassis. We look at the interior to make sure that it has been restored properly or an original interior. We also do an operations check, which means that we run through the car, the headlights got to work, the radio's got to work, the heater's got to work, all that kind of stuff. And so basically when we get through with that, you score against a point system, and if the car scores well, it gets a gold certificate.
The Gold Tour is an activity that started many years ago. Of course, Corvettes like to go out and go for rides, and many, many years ago they started what you might think of as a parade of Corvettes. And it evolved and evolved and became bigger and bigger. And in the old days, it would fan out through the countryside with hundreds and then thousands of Corvettes. And this year, we're bringing it back to the big gold tour. We're anticipating probably over 1,000 Corvettes for the event, for the tour this year. You know, we have folks attend this event that have everyday normal Corvettes, not exotic collectible cars. They drive them possibly back and forth to work or on weekends, on sunny days. And then we have Corvettes that are collection Corvettes that you only see once every so many years. So there's everything in between. On the field throughout the show, we have a big grouping of 1963 Corvettes this year, which we call the Gold Year, 50 years. We also have a group of Silver Salute cars, which are 25 years old. We have more brand new cars and used cars for sale than any Corvette event that occurs. And it's just a lot of Corvettes of all different kinds. The event is also open to anybody. You do not have to own a Corvette. Your whole family can come out for a fun weekend activity, look at the fancy cars, see all the activity, walk around, have a good time. You do not have to be a collector or a Corvette owner to come to the event and have a good time.
And everyone went home with a smile on their face. Hey, this is Bill Stevens for Maria Prekagis and Michael Brown. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Corvette Nation.